How's it going, everyone? This is my 100th video, and with that, I don't know exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to do like a Q&A, got no questions or answers, really. So, in other words, I just kind of came up together with something that I feel will just be more of a personal level, and that would be just more facts or things about me. How I'm gonna do this, I don't know if I'm gonna do like a 1 to 50 or 1 to 10, or I don't know, but it's just, this is gonna be a very self-centered video, unfortunately, so I do apologize. I'm not normally like that. Anywho, obviously I have a lot on my mind at times. If you can tell by my videos, I can jump subject to subject to subject, and I'm going to be making more videos based on, like, I'll say a topic, essentially, like I'll, shit that pisses me off about the retail world, stuff like that. Obviously I'll go into more details on some of them, like specifics and whatnot. And I know, like, on my music one, I talked to one of my coworkers who happened to watch that video. He said that it'd be better if I do like specifics, like genres. Like, for instance, if I were to talk about metal, how I feel about the metal scene, how I feel about that, just do a whole video just on that, on my opinion. And then same thing with like jazz or rock, rockabilly, swing, disco, whatever. That was his suggestion, and I feel I could probably do something like that. And I feel that would be somewhat better in a sense to do it that way, and that makes more sense. And then other things like that. With that being said, I'm just kind of thinking out loud right now, and there are some things that like come to mind that I want to do, and it's like, gaming and movies and all kinds of other things, comics, board games, collectibles, all kinds of things pop into my head. Like, I have very strong opinions on some of them and whatnot, but that's stuff I want to do and elaborate more in other videos. But as of right now, it's to be like stuff that I like to do, so on and so forth. Obviously, you guys know that if I could do more of these, this would be like my main stipulation. But at the same time, I'm pushing myself as like a video game YouTube channel, which, again, makes sense, and that's why there's a lot of games, but I need a bigger variety. So with that announcement, like right now, I have my Last of Us playlist going on, which is currently live. And then another thing I'm doing right now is I'm working on Overwatch again. I'm working on Mortal Kombat, and obviously I know not everyone cares for Destiny, but I have more Destiny videos coming out. But there are more games that I want to actively go out for. So, I mean, if fighting games are something you guys would like to see more of, that's all I ask for, just to let me know. Or in general, just I don't want ideas. It's just I want to make sure that I'm doing something that people would like to watch. That's more of the personal level I feel that I want to be said. But with that, I also am planning on doing like The Last of Us online, and there are some other games I want to try. I'm just not sure if I should put like a face cam in or something like that. Like Outlast is one game I do want to play. I've never played it before. I played like 10 minutes of it, got scared shitless and didn't play it. And I want to do that one. It's just I don't know if I should do it without a face cam so you get the full picture, or throw a face cam in and see how that goes. I don't know how it's going to be, but we'll see. I'm still toying around with the idea. But in general, I just figured I'd let you guys know about that. But I'm working more on some gaming videos, and like I said, with the Mortal Kombat one, I do want to focus more on that. I want to be able to try and get back into the fighting game scene, because like back 4 or 5 years ago, when like Marvel versus Capcom was big, I mean, like, I was playing that nonstop, and I got into the point where I would focus on like frame rate issues, button input, combos, even though they're like bread and butter combos. I mean, I'm not like a ridiculously good player. I'm decent. But I got into, the high lows, unbreakables, charge ups, so on and so forth, like the lingo of it. And I just enjoyed that fighting mechanic where you had to put so much thought into it, as opposed to some games where you just mainly have to play more tactical and shoot, And I just haven't played a fighting game in a while, and I haven't really played a fighting game since then, and I just want to make sure to make more videos on that. But these are going to be like some of my likes and dislikes and so on and so forth. Things that I like and things that I despise, and I'm going to go on to a big ol' mess on it. The first being is that obviously I love games. But with that I hate, there's a lot of games I hate too. And just an example, like games that I love are like the Time Splitter series, Quake. I love the Unreal Tournament series. I mean, most of these are going to be shooters, just so you know. Obviously, GoldenEye. Some of my favorite games are also like Medieval on the PlayStation 1, Golden Axe on the Sega. There's so many games that I've always loved to play. And my brother introduced me to a lot of them. Like, he got me into the Resident Evil series, he got me into the Siphon Filter, he got me into so many. And then there was times when we would play like sports games, which I'm not the biggest fan of sports, but when I played with my brother and my sister, we used to play NFL Street all the time, and I loved playing with them. Even though I got my shit tossed, I loved playing with them. It was so much fun. Now, my dislikes are a lot of mostly real-time strategies, RPGs, and just big open worlds. It's not that they're bad games. It's just I don't like dedicating so much time and getting sidetracked and not being able to fully enjoy it, but you are fully enjoying it by exploring and by doing more, you know? I get lost very easily, and it's like if I don't have something kind of thrown in my face constantly to let me know, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing, I just kind of do my own thing and go off, and I get lost. I love shooting games, but it's like there's a lot of shooters out there that are just bad. And I understand that like everything's trying to compete with Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and so on and so forth. And I don't really feel like you should have to like force it down people's throats. I mean, I know if like one genre, like a MOBA comes out, that's another thing. I really can't play as MOBAs. I just don't have the dexterity or the patience to learn it and to do it. But I've heard they're really, really fun. But I feel like people are thinking like Overwatch is like a brand new like kind of gameplay. It reminds me of like the old Quake and Unreal Tournament style where you had your special abilities or your characters that were unique in each individual way, and you just played the game. And it's like, you know, shoot a rocket at the ground, jump over someone, and blow someone else up. That over the top fun is what I love. That's what makes me love Overwatch. And I just don't like how people are thinking that's a new thing, so now they're trying to copy that over again when it's already been done, just you didn't have the online capability, you know? And then I know everything's trying to fight Call of Duty with its perk system, and I know everyone's trying to fight Battlefield with its big world, or trying to just compete with Halo being a very fun community game. And that's all fine and dandy. I love dandy. And I know that's fun and whatnot, but you don't have to rinse and recycle the same thing or copy and paste it. You need to like come up with your own ideas. I mean, that's why sometimes I feel certain games fail or people have super high expectations. Like one game I've heard a lot of good things and bad things is like No Man's Sky. I've never personally played it. It just didn't cater to what I like, so I'm staying away from it. But I've been hearing nothing but good and bad with any game, you know? But I've been hearing more bad about it because everyone was expecting it to be like a Mass Effect on steroids, essentially, and I didn't get that feel from it. Like one game that I called way before it came out, it was fun with friends, but by yourself, it was absolute garbage, which was Dead Island. Dead Island was one I was like, hey, look, it's Borderlands meets Dead Rising, and they threw them in together, and I didn't think that was a good idea. That's just me because I feel like an RPG system with something like that doesn't really work unless it was Dead Rising, which even then the zombies still died in like a few hits depending on what you did. And then, I mean, I'm a big comic book person, not like the biggest. I don't go by illustrators and this and that, but I go by like Marvel, Dark Horse, DC, obviously, the big ones and whatnot. But it's like I have my own favorite characters. Like my favorite will always be Spawn. My oh my God, I love Spawn. Spawn's my absolute favorite comic of all time. Like, I have one from each one. Dark Horse is Spawn, Marvel is Cap, and DC is Batman. Which I know everyone's probably going to be like, you know, oh, obviously everyone loves Batman, blah, 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 blah. It's just I grew up more with Batman. I didn't grow up with... My dad loved Superman, but I didn't grow up watching or actively reading or doing anything with Superman as much as I did with the Batman. Like, because the animated series, the comics, the games, there was so much more that catered to what I liked about Batman. And that's why I love Batman. And then Captain America, the reason why I love Captain America is just because he's always been one of my favorite because he has superpowers and super strength and all this stuff. I understand that. I know he's not the greatest, but he just stuck with me. Like, I love his villains. I love his storyline. I love how they drive him, and I just love how they do everything about him. And then there's like nothing I can say that I don't like about Spawn. Like, I just love everything. Even though he can kill himself by using his powers, so on and so forth, I just love him. But like I said, Spawn will be my baby. When it comes to movies, most of the things I usually look forward to are horror and very story-driven movies. And that to me is like the best of the best. Like some of my favorite movies of all time will always be like Memento, The Cell. I love The Usual Suspects. I love Seven, and I love Event Horizon. Those are like some of my top 5 films. And I know they're not the greatest by any means necessary, but there's some movies that I absolutely enjoy. And I love talking about movies, the pros, cons, the, screw ups or whatever's wrong with it, whatever's good about it, just in general. I love talking about the actor in the movie or the actress in the movie, the script, the director, the producer, so on and so forth. Even if it's like an animated film, I love talking about voice actors because voice acting to me is one of the hardest things you could ever do. You have to convey so much with just your voice compared to like actually acting it out. I mean, you're acting it out, but mostly your voice is the only thing that's heard and you're not really seeing what they're doing. And that's what I love. It's a guessing game on how does it come out to the final project. And then like I love getting together with some of my friends and like we'll go out drinking, and I love playing board games that way. Love playing Clue, chess. I love playing Risk, Diplomacy, Mancala. There's so many board games that I love to play. Obviously, Cards Against Humanity, Apples to Apples, Headbands. There's so many games out there that we love to play all the time. And there's so much fun, especially when you're a little bit tipsy, because then it just gets way out of control, and then you just have blubbering idiots everywhere just having a good time. And it's just so much fun. Like that to me is a good time. I mean, it's not the fact that you're drinking and doing it. It's just the fact that you're having a group of friends and you're able to just be yourselves and have fun, Those are my kind of get-togethers I love to do. That and gaming. One of my favorite things to do is like get a big group together and just play Pictionary, because most of the people I play with, or like a lot of my friends, we're not very good drawers. So like stick figures are the best thing you will ever get out of us. And you throw in alcohol on that, it is just ridiculous. But in general, Pictionary is one of my favorite games to play as a big group. Like there's one for the Wii U that I play with some of my friends, and it is just some of the greatest things ever. I would love to record that, but for that to happen, I would need two things. I would need a better camera and a better mic to pick up everybody's voice, or at least multiple mics so I can put it in front of everybody. So that won't happen anytime soon. Things that I also like, and things that I always will do a lot of when I have the time, is paintball. Paintball, I love doing. Going to a shooting range, I love. There's just something about it, that it's not that it's empowering. It's just that I guess you could say I love destruction in a sense with that. Like paintball, I love just because it's so much fun shooting people that you love and or hate without actually killing them. You just can have fun with it. And then when it goes to a shooting range and whatnot, it's a good stress reliever. So if like you have a bad day or you're just pissed off at the world, man, go to a shooting range, you'll be fine. Guarantee you'll feel so much better. Heart going a little bit, small adrenaline rush if you've never shot before. It's so much fun. I'm not the biggest computer techie person. Like my next door neighbor, was my next door neighbor. He helped me build my computer. And since then, like I've really kind of got myself into the language, the lingo, the mechanics behind it. And I feel more comfortable. Like I want to change my graphics cards and probably my motherboard to a degree. And I just love being able to just enjoy knowing that, so that way when like people talk about their computer systems or their builds or whatever, I feel more comfortable engaging in those conversations. That's one thing I've always loved about the bare minimum knowledge in a sense. I consider myself not intelligent, but I'm able to cater and talk to anybody about anything because I know a little bit of here, there of almost every subject. Almost, not every subject obviously, but I always have an opinion or my 2 cents to throw in, not trying to like overstep on someone's boundaries or force my opinion. It's just I like making sure I'm engaging in the conversation. If it's like a group thing, if it's like a one-on-one conversation between people, I'm not going to throw my nose in there, but I do like to talk. I just love to talk in general. That's why these videos, to me, if I could do more stuff like this, I would have infinitely more time, or not infinitely more time, but infinitely more content and a lot more engaging with everybody. But it's just I don't really know how to like add in music or little quips and stuff like that, or like I know I could put like annotations here and whatnot, but I don't like forcing that, It's like I don't want to overdo the song, overdo the music, overdo this sound effect. I don't want to overdo the annotations or anything like that. That's why there's like barely anything on my channel when I edit, but I do put a lot of time into editing to make sure at least it's smooth, comfortable, and doesn't seem like it's drawn out. And that's another thing that I will say, going through a lot of these channels, like really, really small channels and whatnot, they don't edit. That bugs me. I mean, I don't mind if you are a big YouTuber kind of thing and you don't edit. But I mean, at the same time, I do, because I mean, I would love if it's a very engaging video. I don't mind like a 30-minute video, but if there's like a 30-minute video, 45-minute video with no cuts or edits, lag, um, load screens, and not a lot happening, then it's a big problem. I mean, oh my god, you should see some of the channels I've seen. I mean, there's like a 15-20 minute clip and no editing. I mean, I know when I first threw my videos up, the first 15 had no edits whatsoever, and that was my bad because I didn't properly get ready. I didn't have an editing software, and I was just like, let's see how fast I can do this. I just want to bolt through it and hopefully I can get through it, and that didn't work out so well. So yeah, now that I have editing programs and whatnot, it's a lot better, and I'm happier because I can go from like, oh look at, I recorded my, for instance, my Trials of Osiris video that I uploaded last week or so, I don't remember. I had like 7 hours of footage that I had to go through to make it what it is, and I was so happy that I was able to just get like some really good parts and throw it in there. And there was some that I wanted to throw in there that I felt were funny, but then when I rewatched it a couple times, I was like, that doesn't make that much sense, and I'd have to include this clip which makes no sense just for that joke, or just for that to make sense in general. But yeah, I mean, another thing, I'm not a big book reader, but I love some books. Like, I have to find the energy to watch TV, like TV shows, like any TV show out there. I have to really get my bearing together to watch a TV show. I don't really just actively go and watch a show because I can. I have to be in the mood for it. Same with a book. I have to be in the mood to read a book. Some of my favorite my favorite book of all time will always be Dante's Inferno, or just the Divine Comedy in general. I love that series. And when it comes to books though, like, I mean, obviously Lord of the Rings, you got your Hannibal series, you got anything by Stephen King, the Game of Thrones series I'm starting, so I'm trying to figure out where that's going to go. And then that's why I also love comics. Comics are a different thing. Like, it's not a long read, but it's not too quick if you have enough of it. Like, you could buy like 6 issues and read 3 right there, and then be like, I'll read the next 3 tomorrow or whatever. That's where I'm at. Like, I can have an entire series right in front of me and still like take a year to read one. I have to find the time or the, again, bearing to watch it. I just don't do it because I can. I'm not that wired, I mean, one thing I would like to record would be like the Wii U. It's just, I don't know how comfortable I am with the Wii U yet. I played a lot of the Wii, but not the Wii U. So I'm just like, I'll probably try and get some like Mario Kart footage online or something. I don't have that many games for it, but we'll figure it out. I want it to be a fun time though. And then I'm also in the process of trying to get comfortable recording my PC footage because I don't really have a good software for it. And I don't want to just get a random software and hope it works and then play whatever and then it goes straight down the drain. Because I was talking to one of the people I'm sub to, and he's sub to me about, well, not, I haven't personally talked to them, but I'm going to, hopefully, and see if we can actively collab together, make some videos together. Hopefully it'll work, but I mean, I can't guarantee it. Our time schedules are like way off, but we'll see, hopefully. And if you're watching this and if you think you know who you are, yay, yes. Anywho, I think that'll be enough about me. I'm not very self-centered. I don't like really focusing on me. I like focusing on everybody else other than me. Again, no self-confidence, I don't think I'm that smart, but I just like having conversations. Whether how I feel about myself is irrelevant. I just love having conversations. At any rate, guys, I will talk to you later, and hopefully this will be uploaded soon. Because, I mean, as of right now, it's Labor Day, and I just want to make sure I was able to record my 100th video and make sure it was ready to go. Because I wanted to have this video ready. That way I can just keep uploading some more. Because I have some ideas in my head as I was doing this. So, hopefully, we'll see. At any rate, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.